All right, we are live. Good evening. As you can see, it's just myself, and I do not, fortunately, I do not have my, I have mac and cheese. Ooh, have mac and cheese. There we go. I do not have a guest. I don't know where she is, but I did send her the link. So we're going to give her a few minutes. She is in Germany. It is 2 a.m., 1 a.m. She could have easily fallen asleep. Favor. I don't know. We don't know. I don't have a phone number to call. But so I am here, and we will give it a few minutes, guys. And I can always do a channeling, or I can juggle, literally, if you want. But nonetheless, going to be one of those. All right. So yeah, so that's where we're at here, guys. So coffee, exactly, and a cookie. So all right, guys. So I apologize. I don't have a guest. Hi, Nathan. Yeah. So we're working on it here, but so we'll go a couple channel updates here since I got 80 of you guys here and wrote out. I was just writing out nope from tonight for tonight, but we're gonna give her a few, of course, and see if she shows up. But you never know, right? And we don't hold anything. We'll just reschedule for next week and see what happens again. You know what, though? It's a good test, right? You don't flip out over these things. I would have, but not anymore. Good dawning, karma, or good evening, I should say. Yeah, I'm not used to saying good evening. All right, so tomorrow is Veterans Day, and we will have a Veterans Day 11/11 portal / Veterans Day deal. And whop, there we go. I am a veteran. There we go, 10th Mountain Division. I don't celebrate the military in any way, but in order to learn peace, right, I had to go through the military. There's lots of things you end up doing that you don't know why you do it until you end up doing it, like joining the military. But so we're waiting for, if you're just joining us here, we're waiting to see what's up with Krista. I sent her the link a couple times over, and usually we wait till about 10 minutes till because she gets in front of the computer, poof, it's right there, and then they go. And it doesn't get buried in anybody's email, and it's kind of how it's agreed. But and generally, that's how most YouTubers do it. Except one I got in the middle of the night. That was weird. But either way. So either way, guys, a couple of things then. So tomorrow is our drop date for Good Dawning here with our 11/11 portal. And if you don't know, yes, I was in the military. That's 10th Mountain Division. So East Coast, right? So you don't think I have the energy, right? I'm sitting here in Colorado. 10th Mountain Division, Watertown. Oh, yeah, New York. So yeah, upstate New York near the Finger Lakes, right? 10,000 like up by north of Syracuse, about an hour and a half, give or take. So there we go. So I've been to I lived in New York for 2 years, and then so there I was in the military. Of course, it was only 2 years, but thank you, Josh, and your veteran service. Nice cat. Thank you, Millie. So yeah, we're still waiting to see if Blindly Inspired shows up. Favor if she doesn't. I know nothing about Feng Shui other than what I've changed based on her, which is putting a red floor mat in front of my inside door, which feels amazing. The green tourmaline, which I got from Chloe, which we're working on for Thursday. We got to figure out how to do that. And I think she's using cell phone internet, and it's just not that strong where she's at. And then the storm that she was having didn't help. Cell phone internet can get garbage if you have electrostatic conductivity to break up the cell phone connection. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, so I got some green tourmaline from her that's up at the front door now, and some black tourmaline, and a selenite tower, and some amethyst. And it shifted everything around. But yeah, so so we're waiting and see what happens here. But so tomorrow we're going to work on our manifestation, and of course 11/11 being Veterans Day as well, and of course we'll do another invocation for peace, so we don't so that maybe this Veterans Day we can have a remembrance of Veterans Day, right? So we never have to have we don't need veterans maybe one day, right? That would be the idea, is that we can stop fighting each other. But all right, guys, there's 14 of us here. I will leave it up to you. I don't have Blindly Inspired. I'm not seeing the guest light up. She's got the link multiple times. Yeah, she's not in the studio. There's like a little studio thing you go to before I bring you on, and so she's not there. So we're gonna give it a few minutes. But who knows? We're not in her universe. We don't judge. Things can happen, and she's volunteering her time and her energy. So I'm sure I'll get an email at some point, and I sent it through a thread, and then I sent her a separate email as well, and second email just a few minutes ago. So So we'll see what's up. Grace, Henny, 8 o'clock. Yeah, of course. Either way, we're going to Michael Sadler for sure. So either way, in an hour, which will be 8 o'clock. I do generally on Sunday nights. I go to Inspire Nation through Michael Sadler. Usually Sunday night, it's him riffing. Generally a channeling that he's done with Archangel Michael mostly. Um, he doesn't do direct channeling. He does more because he's big on automatic writing. And since he wrote a world famous book on automatic writing, that's actually how generally he channels because it ties into what he teaches and it makes him the automatic writing guy. And so if you channeled like I did with Saint Germain, then he wouldn't be the automatic writing guy now, would he? Which Millie got a free scholarship to that class. So she sent me an email like, "Hey, I got into his class," and so that's amazing that she got into Michael Sadler's AWE class, which I think the next one is the 19th or something. Somebody put it in the chat actually. I'd seen his in one of his chats. But yeah, so she gets to do that for free. But she knows how to automatically write anyways because she has done so. We've got postings of it on the channel. But nonetheless, Rick Downing, good evening. Favor to Rick, who's here. Yeah, if you're hearing me riff, that's because we don't have a guest. She don't know what's happened, but I sent her the link twice, 2 times over. And so we sent it like before the show and then before the show again. So well before, and then so we'll see what happens here. If she doesn't show up, there's nothing we can do. But favor to Rick, he had his first yeah, I know you guys were looking for Feng Shui. I know nothing about Feng Shui. I'm a Cancer, so I know how to let go. I'm learning how to let go and go with the flow. That's part of Feng Shui there, but being in flow. But so Rick, you had your first chemo there, so hold Rick into your highest loving light that that it's taking, and we just see him healthy out there living his universe, and all is normal for Rick, and he's on to new, better, and bigger lessons in the universe and dealing with being sick. We can be done with that. Or having any sort of medical condition. We're not saying he's sick, but nonetheless, Rick, Chris, as well. Thank you for Archangel Raphael or Gabriel and your cards there. Thank you. And maybe a good way to start your day is with one of the sacral chakra bowls. I don't know, but I do sometimes, and it's a very grounding way to put yourself in a good space, especially if you're going to be around mixed energies. It'll ground you right into your sacral and root chakra because it's a split frequency bowl, and so yeah, you'll be good to go. Right. So that's one way. If you got to be in mixed energies, especially if you're going to a large crowd or like a convention or something crazy, then yeah, I would highly recommend watching one of Chris's bowls. Lakeside Laura also put out some frequency stuff as well as some ohm, and so that's you can check that out. But I think Lakeside Laura is she's gut. She's hitting you in the gut. Chris is hitting you in the butt, so to speak. So knock you to the floor. But yeah, so I can sit here and riff with you guys for a half an hour. We can play the chat. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna look in the chat here since I got you guys here. And really, I don't know what you guys normally watch. It's on Sunday nights. We've been doing and you guys have been here, so I'm grateful. But thank you. But yeah, I hope let's send some energy out to Krista, blindly inspired that she's okay, that she didn't. Hopefully, we're just hoping she just fell asleep. Like it's 1 a.m., so we can't blame her. I mean, favor, right? I don't have her number, and I don't know, but yeah, favor Rick there, big help. But yeah, I don't know. I would jump into the email, but it'd be my luck that I don't want to disappear. Right? I don't do a disappearing act here. We could say I could channel if we want to channel here, but a couple things here. I'm thinking. Generally, I'm trying to think of my work schedule, right? If I'm off the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, that's my best guess, or maybe over that weekend is when I'm thinking about doing the Brady Bunch style Zoom out, the Zoom party. So we could do it like pre-Thanksgiving night, Wednesday night. I know some of you may have things to do, so that may not work. I'll put a poll up in the chat tomorrow, maybe if I can remember. You can just thumb it up here, but or the weekend after maybe as well. But I know a lot of people have family stuff. I don't know about here, but nonetheless, I do for sure. I never have family stuff, but nonetheless, no, thank you. But yeah, so from my end, yeah. So we'll see what we got here, but I will set it up for that week, and we'll have the Zoom party exactly, and take it from yonder there. But Yeah, so at this point, guys, we're down to 9. So I mean, I don't mind for to drop off. I understand it's Sunday night. Now you got a free hour, theoretically. So let's hold blindly inspired in our thoughts here, Krista, and hope that she's favor. All right. And we can just see her sitting there with the best intentions, asleep on the bed and nothing else, right? And she just fell asleep because it is 1 a.m. there and she'll wake up and we're not gonna make her, we're just gonna be like, no big deal, right? Because it is. You know what she's already imparted to us is amazing. And honestly, if you really wanted to, you could go back and probably take copious notes, write the book on Feng Shui and some aspects from what Krista was dishing out there. So is what she's amazing. And Nathan, I hope that she was able to help you there with your apartment. She hooked up with, I know she hooked up with Nathan there to set up his new apartment or help him set up his new apartment, which is amazing. And if you're moving or looking to move, then yeah, check out Blindly Inspired. I just type in Blindly Inspired and or blindlyinspired at gmail.com. It's not hard. And you can send her an email and she will feng shui your apartment. I'm going to do a video walk around with her in my apartment, a Zoom walk, and she can see. But there's not much I can do. I only have like 500 square, I have 400 and something square feet. So I can move the couch from one wall to no wall. Or right. So it's like what it is. But I'm curious to see what she says about how I set it up. But there's really only one way to set up 400 square feet, right? There's not much. You don't have too many options at that point, especially when one wall is a big fireplace. And then you got big patio glass doors taking up another portion of the back wall. So you only really have a wall and a half. Then you got the kitchen wall too, right? The kitchen doorway. So, but nonetheless, all right, guys. So, yeah, if you want a channeling, throw your thumbs up there. I'll give you a channeling. But otherwise, there I could riff about this, that, or the other. Hopefully, you had a fantastic weekend. I got out to ground 2 days. So if you want a channeling, if I get more than like 5 thumbs up there, I'll throw out a channeling. It doesn't take me anything. But otherwise, I got out and I grounded this weekend. Did you ground? So all the snow is melted. That's why I love living in Colorado, right? So one day it's 30 degrees and snowing, and we have 6 inches of snow. Not all of it stuck, but 6 inches in vapor of snow that landed. And then, but it all mostly melted. And then, okay, we got 1 thumbs up for, can I get a channeling from Sekhmet? All right, we can do that. Sekhmet, it is. We're actually going to bring in Sekhmet tomorrow. Possibly anyways, because she's that kind of energy. And if we're dealing with these things, right? Exactly. She would be the energy you would need to be part of that. And there's teachings there, the reasons, right? If I want to walk peace in this planet, right? And that's why I figured out why I joined the army is if I want to walk peace, I had to learn the ways of unpeace. But yeah, but I actually ended up in garrison, so I didn't go anywhere. Garrisons, the people who have to, somebody has to run the base if World War III broke out. Somebody still has to stay there, right? And take the nuclear strike on the base, right? So to speak, or at least stay there and make sure it doesn't get looted to death, right? And so nonetheless, because I mean, unless the army's here, right? But if there's an invading army, then they wouldn't be leaving the base. But we're the ones who run the base. So I was an air traffic controller, and I ran the restricted airspace. I'll go over it tomorrow what I did, but the restricted airspace in Fort Drum. And that would be where all the military exercises were. There was no way to equivalent that to the FAA, so I didn't end up being an air traffic controller, but it wasn't for me anyways. I'm more of a creative guy than a logistical guy, so to speak, and you have to be very robotically logistic in an air traffic control space. And instead, you can tell I do better at this, like riffing and stuff. Like we've already gotten like 30 minutes, almost 15 minutes, and just burn it up. All right, so yes, on my community, what's it? Who is Sekhmet from me? Sekhmet would be, we're just going to leave it at this. Sekhmet is the Lyrian. Think of Sekhmet as the Lyrian representative on Earth. She came through in Egypt mythology. She is 12 Lyrians wrapped up as one energetic form. And you can say this. I'm going to go grab something, so I'm not going to be right back. Actually, give me 2 seconds here. Okay, so this is just a magazine from Colorado, right? I live in the Longmont, Denver area, north of Boulder, 20 minutes, 15 minutes north of Boulder, but it'd be like Denver, Boulder, Longmont, Fort Collins. There you go. Loveland, Fort Collins. Fort Collins would be 10 minutes from the border of Wyoming. So there you go. and all of this is about an hour north and south. But nonetheless, all right. So Sekhmet energy would be this. This is truly whoever drew this has a connection to Sekhmet, and I'm not lying. And if you understand Sekhmet, Sekhmet is this. Think of it as the internal energetics of your rower, like this push of energy that you would have. And yeah, so we never did get anything to pop in. So I'm assuming she fell asleep. Let's be honest. But Sekhmet, if you ever needed that, it's like that push you get when you have to lift, when you get that extra adrenaline and you do the crazy stuff like lift a car so somebody doesn't get crushed. And it's like, how did you do that? Or you hear the story of this guy rolling a telephone pole off of somebody, which weighs like 500 pounds. And how did that happen? But it happens very rarely, of course, but these things do happen. That would be like reaching into like extreme inner Sekhmet, if you want to call it that way. But that would be the idea. And so this would be like the idea of Sekhmet. Whoever drew this is the Rooster magazine. It's just a local freebie magazine that does like culture and a lot of weed advertisements. You are in Colorado. But yeah, so if you want to know how much weed is, I can tell you that. But nonetheless, this is what you would literally call Sekhmet energy. You see that fire ring around? Whoever drew this is literally drawing the jewel, the third eye, activated on Sekhmet. Right there we go. It's hard to do this backwards. Right there. But yeah, so and then the fire ring around this. I mean, I'm not getting rid of this ever because this finding this, I don't ever grab a rooster, and I barely ever see them. They're not in every place. I went to this place, Jane's, for breakfast on Main Street this morning. That's why I was in and out of the chat with a friend. It was dawning, and they had this sitting there and staring right at me, like literally. So this would be considered Sekhmet energy. It's that inner, like you ever watch Lori Ladd? She's feeding off Sekhmet energy. She's got a lion right behind her too. So she's feeding in her picture behind her. She's feeding off Sekhmet energy as well. And she'll probably tell you that she's channeling in some form or fashion because she's a channel, but not like as a primary thing that she does. But so Lori Ladd will tell you that she's got that Sekhmet energy with the lion behind her. So it's that lion kind of energy. So I'll channel Sekhmet here. I love the gods, Josh, and galactic peoples. Well, we're all galactic peoples. Let's be honest, Nathan. We're all everybody's. Even if you break it down, the reptilians, whomever, it's all energetic, right? And it all has to come from some vibrating source. Now, the question is, do some of these energetics, like the reptilians and such, even truly exist? Or are we bringing them into our existence through thought form as a collective? That's a whole nother story. And that's, we can discuss it another time, that we created the thought form of the reptilians to actually control our universe, but we could get into all because we needed the control, but they don't even really exist. And once we release the thought form, humanity could be free, but we got to get there first. I got to keep tapping the phone for some reason. When you do this in solo mode through StreamYard, the phone doesn't recognize that it's video, and so you got to keep tapping it. So if I do Sekhmet, bear with me. It's going to be interesting because I got to keep tapping the phone or it'll darken out. Then I got to unblank it, and that's where I run the possibility when the black screen there, I could leave it, but I can't see anything, of losing the stream. So, all right, guys, so let's do this. But if I'm connected to somebody, then StreamYard works great. It acts like, because you got two people moving around and the screen thinks that you're, and if I keep moving fast enough, it keeps alive too. But otherwise, the screen doesn't recognize it's on video. So it wants to go dark. Even, there it goes. Even if I put the screen on, it'll still want to shut off. I don't know why. I put the screen on like stay on, but it's weird. But nonetheless, eventually we'll have a laptop here because my Windows 10 laptop will lose service in a couple of months. I have to pay to keep it alive or be like very vulnerable, right? As in the last update, the last free update, the Windows 10 is going to leave everybody who doesn't pay for it to be massively vulnerable rather shortly because they'll figure out all the flaws in it and bust right through it. All right. So I'm going to channel Sekhmet then per request from Nathan. And when you feel Sekhmet energy from myself, and you all do this, I was doing this a while ago and didn't realize it way before I was ever connected to Sekhmet. I get this, I would do this, like pushing roars just to like zip up my energy, right? Or like ground in, like, and I didn't know why. I had no idea, but I was already channeling Sekhmet. When you channel somebody, when you start to channel before you realize that you're channeling, there will be moments where it comes through. It's like when you get the preview of your next highest vibration set point, and you have like a weekend where you're like on cloud nine, and then it disappears, and you have to re-engage yourself to climb back up to those energetics as your new high point. It's the same deal when you channel, right? So you'll channel somebody for a while, not realizing it, and then wait a minute, what was I? And then poof, after you've been channeling on and off in sporadicness for a month or two, it comes to that you've been channeling, and then it comes through as a real channel at that point. But I think Chris can relate to that as a channel with Gabrielle, an on and off channel with Gabriel, that it comes through, then it doesn't. But when it came through at first, you don't know what you're channeling or anything, and then you gotta plow through, and then once you figure out, oh wait a minute, I am channeling, then it's that's where the interesting stuff comes through. But yeah, all right, so we're gonna do tap on the phone there. We're gonna do a quick channeling here, and I will do the best I can to keep my eyes open, so when the screen goes dark, right? Sekhmet, can we do that? I got a yes. All right, so I'm gonna do an open eye channel with Sekhmet. I haven't channeled Sekhmet in a minute. Generally speaking, Sekhmet comes through with me when I get like, you ever get that slow energy when you're in the grocery store or something, or you get a car that's sitting at a stop sign that's really and they just sit there, and it's like, what are you doing? You gotta kind of right. Move on. Slow energy push. All right, so let's see. Sandro, welcome. Don't know. Need to be here. We're supporting each other. Fantastic. Welcome, Sandra. I haven't seen you in the chat. And if I miss somebody in the chat or I miss like a really awesome comment, do keep in mind. I always used to, if you ever flip, when you do, if you ever do a live YouTube, or ever get on a live, keep this in mind. It's hard to watch the chat and keep like the stream of conscious riff going, because the moment you read the chat, you flip your consciousness to the chat, and so you drop. You can get it back, and it's easy. Or you need to see it, and you flip the. But sometimes when you're in the flow, it's and you're like, if you're on your end, you're like, look at the chat, look what I put. You want to see that, right? We all have done that to whoever's live, right? Like to Adam or whatever. Like, hey, read this. Wait a minute, what are you saying? This is the answer to what you were saying. Hey, guess who showed up? Blindly Inspired just showed up, guys. Woo, we have a show. So I'm gonna grab her on. We will get your Sekhmet tomorrow. Nathan, be in the dawning. We're gonna do Sekhmet because she's the energetics of Veterans Day. So let me bring perfect. This is amazing. We're gonna bring Blindly Inspired on. All right. Add to stage. Krista, you are live. Not Memorex.
Sorry, welcome there I am. Sorry,
that's okay. I was just about to do a channeling for Sekhmet for Nathan, but we're going to roll that off to tomorrow dawning, because Sekhmet goes well with our Veterans Day tomorrow. So,
well, Sekhmet, she's on my phone. She's my screensaver for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, she just came and communicated to me through magazine today. I found this at a local restaurant. Sekhmet, right there. So she's communicating third eye the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I know. Whoever drew that absolutely knows what that's Sekhmet energy all the way with the triangle. Oh my god. How have you been?
I'm okay, but just a quick point on that. Some people just there was like a follow up on Billy Carson's trip to Egypt, and some of the private rooms that they went into. There are hundreds of statues of lions, of feline lion people, which they don't show the public. And they've actually tried to deface the faces so that they're not so lionish. So it was just very interesting. Yeah, no, I just saw that the other day. Sorry, guys. Hello, I'm good. I'm really confused with these air times, because I got your thing, and then it still said that I should only be there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow. That's not, that got goofy. The time shift and everything probably mixed it all up.
Completely. But... Yeah, I still thought I had another hour. Anyway, off we go. I'm good. Thank you for that. Actually, awesome. If anybody hasn't seen your Angel Raphael reading, please go and read it. That is exactly what this week is about. I've just woken up, so I'll wake up.
No, that's blessed. Yeah, and thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, check it out. I post a reading every Sunday to gauge Archangel Raphael, to gauge the energetics of your week, and it's your week with Archangel. So go check that out if you haven't, because the cards speak
So
loud.
that is just so, because that is exactly the
Fire.
the energies right now. That's the only energy we should be looking at right now, is creating our light body. We've got
Yep.
11:11 tomorrow. Or now I have 11:11. Hello, it's a good day here. It's a little tired, but it's a good day. 11:11 is working well. It's something I'm just like really so aware of, immaterial of who wins, is just to keep coming back to love, love, love.
Yeah, Krista, Suzette had a quick question if you can answer
That
that.
face might be one of those. What can I do? Yeah, I love this designing. I'm going to draw it for you. I've got a whole lot of drawings here, so I hope that you can get it. This paper here. Yeah, it's complicated, but this kind of shit happens, hey, and it's more often than not. So you can move, as a lot of books will tell you. So you've got well, I've only drawn 2 mirrors. Where are we? Can you see? Wait, there we go. So you're going to take a string here like that, and you can put a crystal there on a string and a crystal there. You can also do like a fringe thing. You can get creative if you like. It can be a string of crystals, but as long as you've got one crystal over there, and just try and blend it in beautifully with the your decor. It's shitty, but sorry, it is what it is. Yeah, it will definitely help. You will feel a big difference. Does it work for you? Let me know how it goes. Very often, if there's a mirror at the end, but you can't, because you can't get in there to hang a scarf or something at a beautiful angle around it. You can let it just blend in as much as you possibly can with the mirrors, so that you don't really notice it, but at least you know that it's there. But you need to create a curtain in front of it. Okay. So, okay, any other questions? Okay, let me know how it goes. I want to see what you've done when you've done it. But we'll talk about colors. You can always use whatever you like in between there if you find some other cure that I talk about. So yeah, 11:11. We are straight into ascension and entering the new earth and a whole new paradigm, whether we like it or not. Huge shifts. I always feel that I can't, but at least I'm aware of what happens when these shifts come. I always feel that lots of things fall away, and stop panicking and know that lots of things come in. But oh, awesome, Nathan! How's it going? We had a wonderful consultation with Nathan, so I'm looking forward to connecting with him again this week to see how things have gone. With his apartment is absolutely beautiful. Okay, the other thing is that we must just remember, and that's why I just read Josh's, just please go and listen. I'm going to listen to it a few times this week. Josh's Raphael reading for today, because it's 40 days from today until the 21st of December. So we've got a good 6 weeks of purging, and that's what's going to be happening. So the stronger that you have your foundation in the ground, try not to wobble. The energies, I'm sure, are absolutely crazy. I just get them over the internet here, but I'm quite sure that your energies, my blessings and my prayers and my thoughts with you there in America, because I think the energies out in the streets can be a little intense. Oh, thank you. It was, huh? That one yeah. So just, listen to it a few times. There's absolute gold nuggets in there. So yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of purging. Please try not to get yourselves swayed by what's happening with politics. There's nothing that's the only thing you can change right now, and the most important thing to change right now is to change yourself. Remember, you have these incredible tools. Find some good meditation, find your tools that you can just grab. The more that you do them, the more that they become imprinted in your being. This is what, for me, Feng Shui is hugely about, is well, big part of the thing is really working on our subconscious and putting it into our subconscious, doing this incredible programming. Lots of meditation we need to be doing. Right. I hope that I've put up a couple of the little Indian chants, the Hindu chants. They are really amazing. They work so well in the morning, and the more that you say them, the more that they imprint themselves in your brain, so that you will be able to just grab the Om Mani Padme Hum. I found the Om Mani Padme Hum for myself in my life when I have big things to deal with, and I've had some real huge unconditional love things to deal with, that when those thoughts jump into my head, then you've got to remember, but it gets easier and easier, that I just flood that with Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum are the 6 true words of Buddha. And I use them a lot in Feng Shui, and I will relate to them just now with the 6 true words of color. I wanted to there was something that I didn't mention with yin and yang last week. How it actually works in practice is that you have yin, which is the thought, and yang, which is the action. You can think as much as you like about going to make a cup of tea. You can think about that tea. You can think about how nice that hot water and the sweetness and the milk and sitting in the sun and listening to the birds. And you can think about that for as long as you like. But until you actually get up and put the kettle on, you're not going to have that cup of tea. And that is the yang side of it. That's where yin and yang is in the simplest form, but that's how it's thought and action, which is Kanyu, which is Feng Shui, which is water and wind. The water is very still until there's the wind. So it's in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God. And yeah. So the word, and nothing was created without the word, but we'll get into that as well. Okay. Oh, please can I put this in my email address, because I really, oh, there, look, I didn't see I had comments. Yay. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't even know I had comments now. So you must excuse me, I don't see well, and everything like this is very complicated for me to see. So my site is very slow. My email address is it going in now? I'm not even doing it. It's not blindlyinspired.co. Oh, there we go. Join the chat. Let me say it again. blindlyinspired.co@gmail.com.
Yeah, if somebody wants to type that into the chat, then I can start and then we can flash it.
Yeah.
And you can communicate directly to Krista if you have questions on Feng Shui or if you want a consultation directly.
Yeah, but I need you to send, so I can send you some information so that we can go into working beautifully with the 5 elements next week, which hopefully I think will take 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll take at least 2 weeks on it, because it is such an exciting thing. But just so that you know where to get your number, so that you have your numbers and how I work with it. So please just send
if you want to announce that again, if somebody can type that into the chat as Krista is stating that, then I can flag it. Yeah, Millie's going to type that in. If you can repeat your email, please. blindlyinspired.co@gmail.com. I don't know why I can't get it.
doesn't matter. I'm not going to stress about it now.
No, Millie's going to type it in there, then I'll save it,
Thanks,
and then
Millie.
I can flash it across at any time. There it is. We got it from Karma, so I will start that right
Okay,
now.
thanks so
And
much.
then
Yeah.
I'll throw it out. So what we're asking for then is if you can tag, like I'm going to need you to tag me just as well for the when we do our Brady Bunch live here on Zoom. But can you tag Krista between now and next week? And she's going to send you documentation that we can use to go along with our show next week for the 5 elements.
Yeah. So that, because it's not that exciting if you haven't like figured out 1 or 2 people in your life, because when you have a person, it's always in your brain, and you know you've lived with them for a long time, then it really makes it very real. There we go. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate
Yes,
that.
thank you all who put that in.
Yeah.
You guys, there's like 4 of them that showed up at about the same time. So grateful. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, and somebody can just put it in a bit later as well, just so that we remember. Just everybody just write it down.
I've got this saved, so I'm going to flash it on and off throughout the show.
Okay, so I hope that you've got pen and paper with you for tonight. Okay, so there's some things. Let's just talk about energy. So we keep telling you that Feng Shui is energy, energy, energy. So when you get to understand a little bit how the energy looks and how it works, then you can start to think of the cure that you want to work with for yourselves. Because I can tell you all these fabulous cures, but like here with Suzette's thing, what I'm trying to do here is actually create a fringe or a drape over her mirror. Symbolically, we've done a drape. Obviously, the crystals work, the power of the crystals work a lot. So it's shooting that energy all the way down and calming that energy down. So that's why we're doing that. Right. So this is where we start. Next week is even more teach yourself Feng Shui, because then you will really know what you know that you know that you know. So as I said, Feng Shui is wind and water. So if we think of water in a stagnant state, it gets really all murky and gooey and stinky and manky and green and slimy, which is what happens in our home. So we don't want that in our home. So how would you change? How would you keep that water fresh? In reality, if you have a swimming pool, you would put medication into it. You would put chlorine into it. I think salt would also work as well. So these are the cures that you're going to be using. So that would be aromatherapy oils. That would be sprays to uplift that area. I'm going to turn the comments somewhere else because I'm looking and then I can't think. Then I go somewhere else. Oh. You would also put light onto it that would like create the energy to the goop and the mold to change. You would get it to move. If you have moving water, then that goop and that greenness goes away and it's flushed and it's cleaned. So that is sound, movement, light, your sprays or your aromatherapy oils. Color is also light. So those are the cures that you're going to use to change your stagnant water. When we have wind, which is the energy moving, we want to harness the wind, or we want to stop the wind, or we want to direct it. So there are very few forms of energy. And as I've said, energy is it's really kind of very simple. It's very complicated, but it is really, really simple stuff. I like to try to bring things down to their simplicity so that we know it is much easier to work with. What did I want? There was something that I wanted. Okay, number one about energy is that there are no straight lines in nature. The only straight line that we have in nature is when the machine goes off and it goes beep, and that means you're flatlined. So there's always constant moving. there was something really important, and I've just forgotten what it was. It's okay. Sorry, I'm still fast asleep here. Okay, so if you look at pictures, there's so many around these days, so you don't need to go and find them yourselves. One of the most important forms of energy is this one. It's the vortex. You see it in the cosmos all the time. This is what's coming into your life. The other form, these are energies this is the other form of energy, which is just your spiral coming into your life. Now, how it works, the ideal situation is that you have a door this side. This could be your whole house with all the doors in between. So you want your energy to come in from one side, circle around the home, and then go out the other side. What we don't want oh dear. Oh, let me just roll this one up quickly here. Wait, can we see there? Yeah. Cool. They're really simple. Thanks. I'm taking a thing out of Adam's book. I have got a thing here, but we don't want the energy to go straight through because that doesn't stop and hold the energy. Energy is like a nosy little child. It's like a real nosy little neighbor. When it comes into your home, it wants to go and it wants to touch and look at everything that it can find. So if you've got all those things tucked under your bed, the energy is going to go there and it's going to snoop around under the bed and say, oh, I don't like that energy under the bed. There's a whole lot of sadness. So let's just waken that up and let's remind you about that. So this is where, as I've said before, Feng Shui is 90% maintenance and tidying up and common sense and 100% awareness. Hello, Josh.
Yeah, in America, they call that a shotgun house, where you can open up the front door and you can blast a shotgun through the house
Oh,
out the
I
back
love
door.
that.
They call it a shotgun style house. Yeah.
Yeah, try to remember those things. I've never heard that one. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They were popular where I used to live in Kentucky because they're inexpensive, and you just you can slab them on concrete, and they were just like one next to another. Front door and back door, it's just a straight shot right through. So yeah, if you shot a shotgun through, all the pellets would just go out the back door theoretically.
what is it's diarrhea. It's like none of the nutrients are sticking to you. Yeah, it's just going straight through. And it's interesting because you've got to also like you've got to take into account people's original beliefs that in Ireland they like that because they don't want the little gremlins to stay in the house. They want the leg in a train house. You see, that's so interesting. It is. It's like a runaway train just going straight through. We don't have. I've never heard of specific names for it. Thanks, Millie. That's really interesting. So even if that's in a bedroom or in a lounge, so be very aware of if you're opening your home. Yeah, there we go. Straight through across. That's so you're not getting, that's why you're missing a lot of opportunities or blah, blah, blah. You're not getting the opportunities that you want. So we can go on. So what we're going to do there, Chris, is very similar. The cures are so often so similar. That's why you've got to just know what do you want to do? Do you want to stop the energy? Do you want to harness the energy? Do you want to make the energy turn? Do you want to lift it up? Is it dark? So these are like the 101 questions you're going to ask for yourself. You're going to do something very similar here, what we did for Suzette, except this is going now across your door. You can also hang a crystal. If you can get onto the ceiling, you can hang a crystal around it here, so that it's going to do me just get my picture of energy. So if you're hanging a crystal, that's what it's doing. You've seen that when you throw a pebble into water. So instead of it's kind of diffusing the energy. Or is that possible to do, Chris? See, there's another one I wanted. Yeah. So this is why I've also hesitated about giving you too much to do, because as soon as we do this with a crystal, it's what it's starting to do. It's starting to shoot the energy all around, or like this. So if you've got like a whole lot of poopy energy in your life, we're just going to amplify it. Oh, a faceted crystal. They're usually lead crystal. They're not crystal, but they're like the ones that they use on chandeliers, and preferably a round one. Swarovski is very expensive, but I'm sure that you can find, there must be lots on Amazon. Maybe Chloe's got faceted crystals. You really don't have to spend so much, because they often round. Try not to do too many teardrop crystals. For many people, for me in Feng Shui, I don't have too much of a problem with it. But for a lot of people don't like it because it's like teardrops, and they say that you'll bring tears into your life. A lot of Chinese don't like it. The crystal ball, but try not to go to like a Feng Shui blah blah blah. They're going to charge you like 3 arms and 2 legs for it. Go to Temu or something. But I'll get into cleaning. The most important thing is that you actually clean your crystals from time to time. I mean, obviously, for some areas, we want good crystals. Okay, the other thing, this is also like, we call it Sha energy or poison arrows when we have that straight energy rushing through the train, like your runaway train. This also works for going uphill. If you can think of when you had a bicycle and you had to go up a steep hill, how did you go up the hill? You couldn't go straight, or you could stand up and go up, or you did this. You weaved across the road from side to side, and then you could go up the hill. It's just energy, guys. So this is how we're going to get up a steep hill. And what that means, as I said, if you remember the little story, that energy is just such a nosy little thing, and it wants to come and see every single thing that you've put around. So we work with this kind of thing quite a lot. This is down a passageway, and these are pictures. Okay. So instead of the energy dashing straight through, it's stopping along the way to have a look at the pictures. So am I there? No. And it's slowing the energy, obviously, of course, what the energy of the pictures and the symbology of the pictures are extremely important. If you just hung pieces of plain paper on the wall, it would also work. But this is how, if we're going up, if you live on a very, you want to get through to your drive or to your front door, and you've got a lot of strong Sha energy coming, you can put plants along the side of your pathway. What did I say? Yeah, this is the one that we wanted, ideally. Just while I'm on ideal situations, you can get in, I mean, there are, but not anymore, but I've read hundreds of Feng Shui books, and they really all tell you basically the same thing. But there's always going to be a situation in everybody's home that you've never seen before. As I said, like doctors practice, dentists practice, Feng Shui is also, they practice, because we don't know. We're practicing all the time and finding it out. This is our ideal situation for our bed, for our office. But if you've got a home office, this is next to impossible to do. So here's your door, and we call this cater corner to the door. So this is your position of power. So you can see who's coming in the door, if the door opens that way, whatever. Or if it's in the center, then you're slightly to the, not straight in front. Otherwise, remember, you're going to be dealing with Shah energy. That's why we don't like to sleep with our feet to the door, because it's a direct line. So they've all got this basis in reality, in practice. And when you read a book, you're just getting you're getting the theory. So it makes sense, but it doesn't always make sense. I want it to make sense for you, so that when you find your situation, you can say, okay, I think this is going to work. Let me just check with Krista first. So any other questions that you have about your living situations? And I said to you also, that was also a very similar situation when you're working, if you've got your bathroom door, or sometimes they don't even have a door if it's en suite. So creating a beautiful, you could use a scarf across here. Sometimes you've just got a doorway between your bathroom and your bedroom, with a bathroom en suite. So it's also creating that same thing. You can get creative and beautiful in interior design and do a kind of drape across here with a crystal here. Crystal here is obviously the best because it is splitting up the energy. It's like we saw in that little diagram.
There was a few questions regarding the bedroom and electromagnetic stuff, like an adjustable bed, not like the old Craftmatic, but people get the adjustable bases these days for their foam mattresses, and an electric blanket and your cell phone and laptop and such. Can you go over those real quick? I know cell phone, obviously, if you anything, like I keep my cell phone on the corner of my, way over on the other side of the room, so it makes me get out of bed anyways. But
I was going to suggest that's the best thing. If you're having a problem, and we all do have a problem, that we want to jump onto our cell phone right away, put it away from it's best, ideally, not to have your computer or any of these electronic things in your bedroom. As quiet as possible, as dark as possible. Even if you're meditating, put on a blindfold if you can. As dark as dark. But some people then don't like the dark. They need to have a little side light. Phones, even blessed, oh God, I can't. Steve Jobs wanted to have a warning sign on telephones, on the phones. He knew that the energies were really bad, and he'd actually developed something that the energy, for children, that the energy blocked out, because he knew how dangerous this was. And when these phones first came out, we were seeing so many tumors on the head, tumors on the ovaries, because women had them. It was very popular at one stage to have a belt with your phone, or kidney problems, because people have their phone in their back pocket. Like everything, unfortunately or fortunately, we've grown used to. A little side tangent here. If you can remember, when you moved into your home, there were things that you didn't like. And if you're going to move into your home, write them down. These are the things that generally need to be attended to right away. This is just your incredible awareness and intuition working so well. So write them down. Because what happens to us over the next few months or the next few years is that we become accustomed to it. We get used to it. And that is the scariest, saddest thing that happens to people. And everybody, we all do it, but I'll say to the clients, doesn't like the train noise bother you? Yeah, but I got used to it. Or don't the wires, yeah, they used to bother me, but I got used to it. There we go. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, any of those covers that you can. I used to work with Sodalite, but now I think people work with Sujilite. If you've got EMF covers, if you can put it outside your room, great. If you put it away from your bed, that's definitely the best. Away from that, don't grab it up. That, as Josh says, he has to get up. That's awesome if you can. And then the shungat in every room, yeah. Just we'll get into cleaning. You really need to remember to clean your things. I used to get up. I've always lived strange hours, and in those days we used to have those old-fashioned. Well, I still like. We just cell phones had just come out, and I used to have my alarm clock at the end of the room, and I had it on. I came from South Africa, so I had it on the Afrikaans channel, which we didn't like Afrikaans word, and it started with the South African anthem in Afrikaans, which was just horror. It was the farmers channel with cock-a-doodle-doo, and then uit die blou van ons hemel. I got up so quickly out of bed to turn my alarm off. There was those radio alarms, yeah. So if you but we have alarm noises that you've got to jump up for anyway. But we get used to these things. What else was that? Oh, electric blankets. Oh, I know they're so nice. Try not to sleep with them on. Just warm up your bed. None of these things are really great for us, but hey, we've adapted. I think I've told you this. This was really quite scary. I'm from South Africa, but I live in but I live in Germany. South Africa. English South Africa. Yeah, we have interesting politics here. Where was I? Oh, right. When we first they gave our gate. I lived in an apartment, and they gave us a gate with this remote control. Oh, this was this brand new toy. I would sit with this remote control, and I would do these crazy things. I would put it in my mouth, and the gate opened, put it behind my head, put it through my body. This totally freaked me out. That no matter what I did, wherever I put it around my body, I mean, if I swallowed it, I would have still been able to open my gate. So and I just thought, oh my God, these energies are just moving completely all the time through us. So yeah, we need to wear something, or at least be aware of it, so that we're clearing ourselves, that we're protecting ourselves, that we've got bubbles around ourselves. We're in a pyramid. Try to make it simple. So choose one or two. Oh, thanks, Corin. We'll see you later. Sorry I was a bit late.
No, really, we're grateful. We were taking bets that you fell asleep. I was like 2 seconds away from doing a channeling on Sekhmet, so you jumped right in at the perfect timing. So thank you. We'll save the channeling, Nathan. We got the channeling on Sekhmet tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, she would have spoken for me. As I said, she's fine. She's very strong in my life. She's a great protector. Okay, so yeah, any electric blankets. I remember falling asleep once when I'd gone away. It was a terrible time in my life, and it was very cold, and I fell asleep with the electric blanket. I was dreaming that I was being roasted. So, and you get totally dehydrated. So just be aware of those things. Good old hot water bottle is still such a nice cozy thing. What was the other thing that we have in our room? All this electronic equipment. It's not right. So try to, you have to just, you see, that was my alarm for you. To do the show with you tonight. Anyway, hopefully we're on time.
Yeah, the time shift between Europe and here, there's nothing standard. And now Colorado's looking at maybe freezing it, so we won't even change time. So we'll be off the rest of the country, and it gets to be to the point where it's like, I mean, time doesn't exist anyways, but now they're really making it crazy, right?
But they make it. What would I mean? If we need to do the time change, I totally understand why they want to, but please, at least let everybody in the world do it on the same day. Can't we just?
Thank you.
And then
Just the cost of billions in business just from flipping it a week earlier in Europe and we do it for Halloween, so we changed it during the Clinton era so that it doesn't from our end so that we don't have kids trick-or-treating in the dark, which is fine, but then Europe should have came along, or we should have, but yeah, so it costs billions of dollars, and then there's a couple states like Indiana that doesn't change at all, and it costs them hundreds of millions a year because they're all off time too, so.
Because then we're off time for a week, and then we're off time again for another week, and then we're off time again. So it's like 3 weeks of absolute nonsense, and it's difficult enough coming to terms with whether it's too loud or too dark right now.
Outside of the fact that it was for gardening during World War II, let's be honest, is it really just to throw off our energetics so that they whop just a dish can just a little bit more, but we're not going to go there, right?
Actually, we are. I wanted to just mention that politics, my parents always said, is an absolute mug's game. My father didn't do politics. The only thing he said was that if he was black, there would have been no doubt that he would have been part of the ANC. Absolutely no doubt. But other than that, he'd been through the war here in Germany. He was like in a very good boarding school, and good boarding schools were taken over. If you didn't want to go to join the party, you could step forward and you were shot. So obviously everybody joined the party. Let me just deal with my dog. We can't go out.
Can you imagine that here? If you're not a D or an R, we're going to take you. You can't vote I, so you've got to be a D or an R, right? Ooh, favor. Sorry. No worries, Chris. This is we all. No, worries.
He's found a new trick in his old age to scratch at the door, because he knows that and he doesn't need to go out. Okay, so what I found out this week, and it was like, as I said, politics is an absolute mug's game. It's about a secret sect of the Kabbalistic Jewish things, but for some reason, I'm not going to go into it all now, but they're actually Muslims who deal with, they're Muslim on the outside, but at home they deal with secrets and high magic of the Jewish Kabbalistic work. And there was this guy who lived in Germany who started a thing called the Workers' Party, which was later taken over by which became the Deutsche Arbeits, the Nazi Party. So the Nazi Party was actually developed by a Muslim practicing Jewish magic. How crazy is politics?
Politics? Well, how crazy it's yeah. Well, it's crazy. It's designed to. Politics is designed to take you out of frame. I'll leave it, and we'll just leave it from there and go from there. Yeah. But it's anything that's designed, anything that tells you that you have to surrender your power to something else in any form or fashion. Generally speaking, we're just going to leave you. You can interpret that however you choose, but if you understand the realm that you're living in, then you'll understand politics a little deeper than that. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, and yes, tomorrow's show, Mikhail, is at 10:33, just like standard show. We're just going to it's going to be based off of the 11:11 portal and the energies of 11:11 and Sekhmet, and kind of the whole Veterans Day and all that.
We'll hit 11:11 there, and it's just. Guys, please, this with all these politics, they're not changing your life. Only if you wanted to right now. Don't get the right now for this week and for definitely the next 40 days. But this week, just don't get swayed in. Just keep that energy. Keep breathing in light. Keep expanding your heart. Think of your heart as this beautiful golden crystal heart, and just breathe it bigger. Breathe it bigger. The more that you do it, the more that you practice doing it, the more it becomes automatic, and you'll be walking down the road and thinking of something completely, and the next thing, this thought will just come into your head. Breathe into the heart and say, oh my goodness, it's working.
If you're going to do anything in regards to this week, just put some peace and love and Trump's going to meet with Putin, and so they're talking, and they're both talking peace. So let's put some
Yeah.
love towards that, and if we're going to say anything, skip the politics and see what's going on as in a higher light of love and what we really want to see from the world, and not looking at it as fear of whoever's president or whatever's going. See it in a larger
Yeah.
frame.
If you can just think when those thoughts of like whatever horror comes to you when you think of what's going on in your country, just try to put that and just unconditional pink love. It's hard, guys. I'll just very briefly, when I came back to Germany, my son had gone through the most extraordinary abuse here and mobbing. And for some reason, I landed up in the same place again. And almost every street corner was like, for me, tinged with like dreadful memories. That's why we left. And we tried to get through it, and we did get through it. But coming back again, all those memories were just so strong. And it has been such a huge, huge, huge challenge to work with unconditional love and just to surround everybody in pink little cushions of beautiful light. So it can be done. It's difficult, but it's easy.
Yeah, how's it in a German society, which is known for its stoicism and it's
Yeah.
not saying heartless, but more staunch, kind of heavier energetics. How is it when you're coming from the heart there that you're walking through, like if you're walking down a
Horrible.
Berlin street there and your heart's wide open and you feel all the closed off chakras?
It is almost impossible. It's like living in a leaded safe. You can feel it's like this heavy metal around you. It is so difficult to get through that love. I mean, I just think like if when I move out of Germany again, it's going to be like walking with weights on your legs here, so that when you away from here, you're just flying. It is so hard, guys. It is so hard. And it's like, I mean, the times I just feel it's like with a chisel. It is very, but you know what? Obviously I need to be here to push through and break through those
Yeah,
those
but
things.
maybe you're that anchor though that they need as well. You know, we're all placed where we're supposed to be. There's not a lot of us, and we're all wherever we're supposed to be. So maybe you're that anchor that Germany, or at least where you are in Germany, needs. Because where they say you can affect over 1 million people just by your light easily.
Well, it used to be the center of the world, the heart of the old world, Germany, but it's now called the Heartless Heart.
Oh well.
Yeah, there are some very interesting people, but they were brought up like that, hey? Not just but after the war, their children weren't loved. They were told that you mustn't love and nurture your children because they're just um, dragging energy from you. That's not the way to bring up children. And everybody listened. We had Dr. Spock. He ruined a whole generation or two. I think he is from America. Ruined my sister's generation. That was also let the babies cry. Don't pick them up. Don't nurture them. So they were very anyway. That's just the way they are. They are very. You can feel this like, and they all do this strange noise. How does it go? They breathe like that when they're thinking. And I've done that when I've been like extremely traumatized and had like a lot of things in my brain, and then you go, it's very
You're
interesting.
correct. I know. My last ex, she's
Mm.
German. Well, not she's adopted, but her mom is from Germany. She's from, I'm not sure the little town, but yeah, she does exactly that.
Mm.
There's a lot of trauma response in the German energetics in general that I think is left over as a culture that they still eat from the war as a whole. That individually, there's like yourself, or there's a couple online, Mary and Joseph, I think is her name. I'll send you her name. She's from Germany and she does spiritual stuff. She'll stand at a river and do her 20-minute riff on whatever. But there's only a handful. And you're correct. I've noticed in the Germans, my mother's second husband, her parents were they were German. They were actually in the kinder train, right? So they got put in the kinder train during World War II and escaped the whole deal. They were kids and they were just put on this train with like a few adults hiding out, but barely. And this train just went off to nowhere And fortunately, all the kids were adopted and saved and all this, but she was on the kinder train. And so there's this like collective trauma that still seems to hang over that whole area. And you can see it in any German I've ever met, even like when I was in college. For what little college I did, I used to hang out with these German guys. And we'd listen to industrial, but there was this like anger, underlying anger as well. And I'm sure you see it in the culture too.
And spying on you. They say, oh, yeah, we have these incredible windows, and it's common knowledge. You have this very wide windowsill, window ledge, and you open your windows so that you can put your pillow on the window ledge and you can hang out and you can watch the people.
Oh wow.
And they do. They watch you. They slug, and then and then like telling on you. So that's really a kick from the wall, snitching. And if you drop a piece of paper or you walking in the bicycle lane, God forbid. Oh God, you'll get such a lecture from somebody. If you're just walking so on the same side of the street, but you mustn't walk on the right, you must walk on the left because the bicycles go on the right. Das ist verboten. Or if you're riding your bicycle on the wrong side of the road instead of the bicycle, and it's usually the old lovely grannies. I try to just laugh at most of them, but this time round I found it very, I did. I shouted at my neighbor a little while ago downstairs. I said, "You've got nothing else to do. You've just got." Because my dog had left paw marks on the stairs, and I hadn't seen them because number one, I don't see very well. But no, that's number two. Number one, I walk up the stairs. I don't stop and look behind me to see what I've left behind because generally I haven't left anything behind. I got into such, you can't believe these two came down on me. Das geht nicht. I said, it's okay. Just let me know. I'm going to get my mop. I'm going to clean it up. There's just a couple of paw prints. I'm sorry. We came in from outside and the stairs were wet. And then I told her that because she'd broken her arm, and I told her that I was doing her cleaning up the stairs for her. And she said, oh, you don't have to do that. You don't have that. She's not going to say thank you for me. I said, you know what? You've got nothing better to do than to just make people's lives miserable and watch what other people are doing. Go and do a hobby, get something better. She's much nicer to me now. But anyway, let's get back to beautiful energy and how we clean. I find that when I come up the stairs, when I walk in my building, I'm very aware of just vibrating love out my heart. I do something different when I go downstairs, but when I come in and out of my flat and down into the building, I'm very aware of just making this huge amount of love that just goes up the stairways, and I hope that they get it. And if they don't, they don't. That's also fine.
Yep. Every time I leave my building, I wish everybody favored everybody in building P, right?
Yeah.
And so I give them all favor and love. It's all I can do. I can't control the energetic. Yeah. But it's interesting how as I keep wishing the building favor here, we keep getting better and better tenants, and all the ones that all the riffraff, and then the one the Motel 6 that was one of the apartments over here with like 45 people living in it got finally they've all gotten evicted out. So the energetics, if you start wishing something favor, the energetics will shift in whatever you're wishing. Absolutely. There. So keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And that's back again. I can't tell you how important your portal is. If you don't do anything else, just do that front door, stand at your front door, blast yourself. I'm doing that thing that Josh we were talking, and I really feel it's like going through a car wash with violet and gold flames. So when I walk into my home, it's like, so I'm doing that, all cleaning, and you can clean like this, if you intend it to be so quick, it is so quick. I'm doing a wonderful thing going outside. It's like, does the universe hear me? And then I clap my hands when I want something, and I wait. Here, you see here, but with ting in my ear, a dog will bark, or a leaf will fall down, or an acorn will fall on my head. Does nature hear me? Yes, she does. She's answering like this. And this is our politics, guys. This is the best and the most, this time, I mean, all the time, but from now until December, just try to keep yourself focused totally on yourselves. Screw the rest of the world. Keep your feet grounded. It's so, what is, I'm going to post, I saw again, what is in the middle of the earth? The most incredible crystals. You've seen some of those pictures of those enormous crystals. That's what we're anchoring. I'm quite happy to anchor that. Crystals are solidified sound. They are vibrating. So if we're tuning in with our little anchor down to the ground and hooking in, we're getting the messages, we're getting spoken to by the universe. I mean, not by the universe, by the earth, our cosmic mother. And that's what Feng Shui is. Don't forget, I'm going to tell you over and over again. It is being in the middle. And we've got the way of heaven, the way of earth. And we are the representatives. This is thousands of years old. This is our ancient future. This was given on the back of a turtle some 7,000 years, because it's 5,000 BC, some 7,000 years ago. I think it's even older, but that's immaterial. Everything in the cosmos is made of the 5 elements. That's why that Om Shaya, say that. The more you say it, the more that you're tuning into the 5 elements. You know what it's saying. It clears your home. It brings that in. That's all this is. It's about observing. It's about being one with nature, observing the water. It's not about a whole lot of cures in a book and Yuppie whoopie, Mr. Gates made a lot of money and Mr. Trump used it. Why did he use it? He said, I don't care whether, I only do it because I know it works. And it's got nothing to do with whether we believe it or not. Just like, and the stuff is scary when it comes to, I was just thinking, I had a client, they had this big, huge window behind where her husband sat, and he had like really bad cataracts, which they couldn't fix on his one eye. Right behind where his favorite chair was, there was a little mark from the lawnmower, and a piece of stone had hit the window, and it was in the shape of like a cataract on your eye. What should they do? I said, well, see if you can, I mean, ideally fix the window. It's a big, huge expense. It was a very, very big window. But this stuff is scary, how it affects, never mind your wealth. I don't even go there because it will happen automatically. But how this stuff affects your health. And as I've said, a Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine, they go straight to your house because they can give you all the medicine in the world, but if your house isn't supporting you, it's not going to shift. A little bit, yes. But if you remember, feel all these points. Anyway, where this comes from. So this is our ideal situation. It's very simple. This is what we're going to strive to get, and this is what we're going to fake it and pretend around us that we have. So we went through this last week a little bit with the 4 sacred animals. So this is halfway up the hill. It's logical. In the beginning, I'm sure that they sat down here by the water, and then the waters flooded and their houses were flooded. So they decided to go halfway up the hill with the sun in the front of you, looking forward, so that you have a free energy, which is your red phoenix. Your water is your wealth, so that you can easily water your crops. You've got your black tortoise behind you to protect your back. On top of the hill, you're not going to feel very secure. It's going to sound horrible because you've got all that horrible wind blowing through you. And then you would have your very big dragon in the east, which would be another mountain, which would also protect you. And a smaller mountain, I don't know if this is right. I think it's the other way around. Yeah, sorry, I'm back to front. So you'd have your bigger mountain here, which is your dragon, and your smaller mountain here, which is your tiger. And you don't, if you're moving the tiger, she doesn't like moving. She's a woman. She's got her feet in the ground. Just give her a present. Bring her a picture, put some flowers, a bunch of flowers, a new plant. If it's in the garden, plant. This works. It's scary how it works. And you in the center here of all this magic, you are the snake. And we're moving into the snake next year. And the snake, when it sheds its skin, which we're all doing at the moment. We're getting ready for shedding our skin. We are so vulnerable. It's painful. The snake can't move. It can't slither away. It has to go into a very hardy dark hole away from predators as best that it can, because it's really aching and vulnerable. It's raw. It's like it's been sunburnt and it's had all its skin peeled off. It doesn't last for long, but it's vulnerable. So this is where we're trying to create as best as we can in our life. So this is where we have the water in front. Ideally here, these are just some, but they go round and round and round and round and round all the time. If you've got questions, it's best to draw them up for me and I will help you. So this is your roadways, like your traffic. So these are our waterways, which we pretend that they're water. This home over here is going to be making good money because they're surrounded by water. This poor guy on this side is not going to have such good opportunities because the water is going away from him. If you look at where McDonald's are situated. They for businesses, but McDonald's didn't make good hamburgers. He bought property. That was his most important thing. So all good property, McDonald's have got ideal situations for selling, which is in a situation where you're selling, they're almost always on a corner, because all that energy is surrounding you. If you're the unlucky guy here at the end, where all the energy is coming like a bad tiger, like a sharp energy, poison arrows, what are you going to do to stop it? How are you going to stop it? If it's water, what are you going to do? Maybe put some rocks outside. Not huge, boulders would be great. But maybe putting in front of your front door instead of pots or something, the pots would also help. By your front gate, maybe putting some two reasonably large stones, or as big as you can afford. That's going to stop the water. It's going to make it go round. So play around, have a look at energy, just be aware of it. We can go on, but as I said, every situation, those are your major ones, your major points that you're looking at. And obviously, if energy is dark, how are you going to wake it up? With wind chimes, with a crystal, with fresh air. Okay, so some other cures that we use. Oh, wait, we'll talk about crystals just now. Okay, energy as well. Let's just talk about that quickly. Old things. Or as I mentioned last week with that photograph of my parents. Luckily, my mother never told me, because I can't put that picture up anymore. Because now I know, Don't tell me, I don't want to know. Once you know what chocolate cake tastes like, you know. Generally, we don't like secondhand things. But if you're having antiques in your life, they've gone through multiple owners, and we don't know. You can get a good feeling for something, or you get a bad feeling, but either way, you want to try and neutralize it as best as possible. Obviously, do all the basic cleaning. My father collected Persian carpets, and I had this passion for carpets as well. So what I would do, I would make a spray bottle, and remember, this is my magic spray. Half vodka, half distilled water. Personally, I like tea tree. I've gone through a lot of aromatherapy oils in my life. I'm really enjoying tea tree. There's very little written about tea tree from a psychological point of view, or maybe there is now, and a metaphysical point of view, but it heals hurts that don't want to heal, stubborn things that don't heal. It's a natural antibiotic. So for purging, I like to put a piece of, not every day, but very often, I put a drop of tea tree here, a tea tree here, a tea tree here, and a tea tree here, and a little on the heart just for fun. But these are where we're sitting with problems that are not healing. So tea tree is a great one. But put it in your spray bottle, spray these antiques, remove the energy. Josh is doing that. If you feel to do that, get rid of that energy. But definitely clean it and spray it symbolically that you're really detaching. Yeah, what's tea tree is stubborn wounds that don't heal. It's the most amazing stuff. You can use this, okay, crystals. Just it's also cleaning your crystals. You can do it with that. And remember that silver and gold are also crystals. With a lot of my training when was with healing, and when people have got serious illnesses, cancer and tumors and blood things, is to remove all your jewelry, all your crystals. You don't want any crystals, and that is including your wedding ring, because it amplifies. Whatever crystal you have is going to amplify. So it's just for a little while that you want to completely purge yourself and have absolutely no crystals, no other energy within your space. As I said, in your home, who had the shungite in every room? You can rinse them if you've got the time, but from time to time, just sage them, or with a incense or with a spray. Please, it's so important to keep them clean, because they absorb all the energy and then they start to vomit it all over you because they're full. They can't absorb anymore. And don't just put them there. You have to talk to them. When I get crystals, I used to call them getting a new pet. So I try not to name them. Be careful of naming things, your car and things like that in your life, because then you're creating a voo-voo doll. So be careful of naming things. But they are living, they have feelings. They're very interesting crystals. So just treat them, as I said, like a pet. Do they need water? Do they need some extra energy, which is maybe a nice bath with aromatherapy oils in it? Do they need cleaning? So spray it. Or do they need food? Then you can put them outside. And you'll feel the difference, especially if you've got them under your bed. Please, please, please make sure that they're clean. That's the most important thing about crystals. And then slowly, it's like being on a diet. Oh, that was the other thing that I really think is really important to think about this week. We'll go into it more next week with eating. We keep just putting them away for for the healing. You just put them on your altar if you're not going to wear them. Otherwise, if they don't fit you, people wear them around their neck. But if you're wanting to do a purge for a week and get rid of everything, then put it on your altar. Give it a good clean and love it. You've forgotten about it on your finger. You don't see it anymore. You'll see it if you put it on your altar. Put it in a very beautiful space. Put flowers around it. We're working with connecting with the Christ energy right now with our twin flame. So, yes, be prepared. Be absolutely, cleanse yourselves. Be ready like that bride. Hello, Josh. Are we running way over time? I can't hear you, Josh.
Hang on.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, sometimes I don't fit the mute button there. I fat finger. I think this might be a good stop. We've gone an hour and a half here. And anything else at that point, the last end of the video never gets watched by anybody, except for the handful who are, of course, with the family. But we'll get 50 views, but it'll only be the first third of the show. So I think this is a good point, maybe to kind of, as we're slowing down here, to kind of wrap it up for next week, because we've gone like an hour and 10 minutes on our end here. So what do you think there? It's a good place to kind of wrap it up.
It is nice. I'm about to turn a page. I've got another whole pile, but we can deal with that next week, which is also. And it was about naming things. So
and as well, if you have questions for Krista, please feel free to email her. She's certainly given us permission there to email her. So please do. If you have a question on Feng Shui, or if and of course, if it's a basic question, you can wait till next Sunday as well. But of course, email her anyways, and she's going to get out the 5 elements that we're going to get started with that, and she's going to send you the documentation that is needed, and I'll make sure to mention that as well during the Good Dawning over the week, as well with your email there, Krista. And of course, Tuesday night Live too. with Laura. If you want to watch Tarot and Oracle, join us 7 o'clock on Tuesday with Laura B. But yeah, I'll put that out there. And so yeah, email Krista nonetheless. Thank you, Horses Karma, for putting that in. All four of you guys who threw it into the chat. Her email there. Thank you. Yeah, because she'll send you the documentation that's needed. It'll be like going to school next week. So this will be awesome.
No, no, absolutely. And I hope that you've learned stuff, because I'm giving you a lot, guys. And I'm busy putting together. I've written so much about Feng Shui. And you know what's so interesting for me is that all of this is just from inside. I have no reference work, and I have no notes. I have almost no possessions with me. It's been very interesting. Yeah. So this was just like absolutely and yeah, it's taken like 5 years to be delivered. Oh, now I don't want it. Now I've had to really just draw on and think and just like, yeah, just go out, observe water, take photographs of water. I promise you will learn so much.
Absolutely. And love your water. Before you drink water, Sandra, yes, we'll be on again, same time, same channel next Sunday. For the foreseeable future, we're going to continue this discussions for sure. So this isn't going to change, Sandra. You can consider it like a regular show. But yeah, are you loving your water before you drink it? Because you contribute, the molecules of the water will change. If you punch in on YouTube there, talking to your water, anything of the sort, there'll be like 80 different videos that show up with microscopic shots of water and different words, and saying hate to water versus love. It's like, whoa, night and day difference.
Choose your words with care. Be careful. I love that word. It's not careful. Break it up. Be careful. And if something's wonderful, it's full of wonder. Think about the words that we are using. That's where we're going to go into that spelling, with how deep it is rooted in the
culture. Totally. I like
but the Chinese even more so. They have so few words. It's the intonation and the way you say it which can change the whole meaning of the word. And that slight difference, they are so aware of what they say and naming things. Be so aware what you call your children, what you call yourself. If there's a nasty voice in your head, it's not God. God don't talk nasty to us.
That's your trauma talking back to you.
It's that's not the universe talking to you. Our universe is the holy, beautiful mother. For some people, it's really difficult to connect because you have difficult energies with your mother. For us in the West, anyway.
Yeah, that was me. I had to clear the mother wound. I mean, that's why Isis came through. Let's be honest. If you've got another trauma there, Isis may come through. She came to help clear that mother wound and the womb wound that I had when I was rejected just within the womb itself. So yeah.
Well, yeah, my parents tried to get rid of me, So you know that. You know
Favored.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, and it causes the disconnect.
And then you get confused because you become the favorite, because they love you so much when you're born. But it's like crazy, you've got such crazy dichotomy in your brain cell. But yeah, we've all, and I used to say 7 years, but I actually heard that we are programmed within those first 3 years of our life.
Really, I've heard it was 7, like from Joseph.
I also heard 7.
Yeah, I would imagine the first 3.
From a very reliable source that it's the 3 years are all the programs.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, 7 definitely. Give me a child until he's 7 and he's mine forever.
There you go. There you go. People only knew what they were doing.
The first 3 years as a parent are absolutely crazy. There are times that you want to just choke that child because you don't know what to do. If you're honest, it's like spirituality. It's not all sweet bed of roses.
No. I had an encounter with my dark side the other day because somebody pulled into this alley I was trying to get out of, and just sat there and expected me to back up a quarter of a mile, which wasn't happening. So sometimes you got to reach into your dark side and do things like threaten to call the cops because somebody won't move their car because they're just being a jerk. But you know what? It's good because you don't even think about it when you're playing in your light. You don't even realize the dark isn't there. You're not feeling it. But when you have to reach in and it comes out, holy cow!
Breathe.
It'll throw you off kilter because it's like oh my god, that's still inside me. But you never play in it. It's like the light is just like it's like a shield.
It's about breathing, and that's all these little things. Stopping that moment, that stop at your door and breathe. That is the training I want us to get into life. All of us, we can't get it more and more and more and more. So that when we hit that dark side like that, you stop and you say, "Oh, I stopped to breathe."
Sometimes you got to let the dark side out. Like you got to call somebody. You got to call a jerk
But then
and be like, move your effing car. Yeah.
But you're not just slamming like that. You're thinking.
No, I wanted to rip his. There was an inside. It was weird because there's a dichotomy inside of me. I wanted to rip his mirror off, but outside, it was just like, can you move your car, please? Or do I need to just call the cops? I love you. You know what I mean? And that was about as far as it got. But once I threatened to call the cops, you moved. But it was just interesting to notice that that's still inside you, and it's always going to be. And so to see it come up was just kind of threw me off kilter, to say the least.
You're going to be very busy this week and for the next few weeks, Josh, doing so much clearing. We must and also just don't hold on to it, guys. Lots of salt water, lots of salt baths, lots of just showers, just shh. If you've got tears, let them cry. Just let it out. Don't hold on to it. Just let it go. You know, it's difficult. It's like having diarrhea. Sorry, I can get really gross with this stuff, but it really works like this. If you've got diarrhea, you can't hold on to it. Let it go. And you don't want to hold on to it. You want to just let it go. And you're so relieved when you are actually not sitting on the toilet anymore. It's like, oh, I can rest. This is what's happening to us. Just let us purge. Be so grateful for this purging. So, Josh, the violet flame is like amped up. It is pumping.
Yeah, we're going to work with it this week. The number 10, we got the plug and play, right? And so the number 10, we're going to turn it to 10.
You're going to just channel what you do. You're going to channel. You're going to just be awesome. You're just going to be so busy. And you're just going to do the right things. As I said, the things that you've done, those for me are really, really powerful. Where you think of like a birthday that didn't work, and it's like, oh my God, or this occasion that didn't work. And they just all these little ones come in. Bloop, 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 bloop. You know, like when I knew I was growing up when my father didn't hide the Easter eggs anymore. Oh, terrible.
Yeah, it's like my dad opening up the closet when I was like 5. I mean, we didn't celebrate Christmas, but he was with his second wife at that point, getting second girlfriend, and she was Catholic. And so I was like, "There's all the gifts." I was like, "Well, you just blew that real fast." But I mean, I was 5. I already had an idea. You can't.
I did also when I was about 5. I saw one of my. Oh no, it's horrible because you feel that feeling in you. So those things are just so. What you're doing, it's like incredible what comes up. Those are
we're set up,
energized and channeled, Josh.
I
don't know anybody else that's doing it like that.
Oh, well, thank you. No, really, I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know. It's just what comes to heart when it comes through.
Because it's working, and it's like this, and it's like incredible, really, really. But you'll channel the right things. You're going to be very busy. Thank you for that space. Yeah.
Let's all give Krista a big thanks, and you can check her out at Blindly Inspired on YouTube. If you just type in Blindly Inspired, she shows up. It's smart. Unlike Jared, if you type in Huda, you'll get 50,000 videos from the Who. And so, if you need to find Jared, you can go on my community page. If you need to find Krista, just type in Blindly, and she'll pretty much show up immediately. Once you start typing IN, she'll show right up. It's that fast. So, Krista, we thank you. I'm going to throw the email out there again. This is Krista's email. Please, if you're going to join us next week, or if you have questions about your Feng Shui in your home, you can save it till next week. Or if it's something bigger, you can send Blindly Inspired Krista an email, and she will get back to you as well.
Email me right now, guys, before you forget, so I can get onto this tomorrow morning and send you the things, and you can start. Because because it's
I
really
trust you have my email already, so I will not.
Yeah, I will. So I'll send it to you, because it's not going to be fun if you don't have this piece of paper in front of you.
Yeah, and
We,
I'll run it through the week, Monday through Friday
yeah,
there, that if you're going to join us on
yeah,
Sunday to email you, and I got your email there. It's
yeah.
just the CO for Germany there, so we'll get that done. All right, guys, we appreciate you. And Krista, again, check out her YouTube at Blindly Inspired. And if you have any questions, and of course, email her. She will send you the documentation for next week when we start our lessons on the 5 elements. And if you made it this far and you're with us, there's 4 left. Thank you. And I appreciate all of you who have stuck with us. And we will, of course, see you tomorrow, Monday on President's Day, and the 11/11 manifestation portal as well, guys. If you've been
A
manifesting with
busy
us,
day tomorrow.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it is actually.
And
Gotta
just
help you.
remember, guys, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy.
If you want change in your universe, you have to start by being happy with the universe you currently have. There you go.
I'll end with the was a Garfield joke, was one of my favorite ones. I used to teach this one about changing your energy. And it was Garfield being glum. He said, I'm feeling so down, 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 doobie doobie down, doobie 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 down, 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 doobie doobie down. You got it.
There you go.
It didn't
That's it.
even
Sing your
take
way
too
out of
much.
it.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
it's
be
like
down if you're singing that.
down, 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 doo, doo, doo. But you have to do it. All of these things you have to
So,
do it. So think about lots of things changing. Think about changing your diet. Listen to
oh, it's
yourself.
already been done.
Oh no, it's never
All the
done. It's
oil.
never done,
America's diet is
Josh.
just pressed oils. If you're eating anything out of a package, it's a pressed oil of some sort. And so, yep, I'm all the packaging. I spent the yesterday cleaning out the freezer and realizing, oh, I get to figure out how to reeat. That's something I'm actually working. Funny, that's exactly where I'm at right now, is the shift in the diet. So yes.
You know, they hook you into their system. When I was in South Africa, because for years, I don't buy anything. I mean, I cook. I make everything from tomato sauce to everything. It was like a couple of seconds. I'm just so used to doing this stuff. And Alex, because of the games that they play with the food and how they hook you in, Alex would get so angry with me and say, for fuck's sake, buy something. I said, but what must I buy? I don't
That's
buy
it.
this. Because they were, what was it? And then like vital for your heart. So I said, okay, well, I've got some margarine with olive oil. But I don't buy biscuits. I don't buy chips, crisps. Don't buy colas. Don't buy any of this shit.
Oh,
I
yeah,
take it along, but
it's all
they
falling out of my diet
you are so
shortly.
programmed through your food. But anyway, that's
Yep.
you figure that out.
That's
Just
a whole nother episode we'll discuss, because there's feng shui and even in your food. But yeah,
everything. Well, this we're going to start on this next week on the Feng
here we
Shui,
go.
eating according to the 5 elements for yourself.
Perfect. That's exactly what I need, because
Because
I'm lost.
remember,
I mean, just make rice.
we've
That's
been
his point.
we've been saying this forever and ever. They're so happy. They're so in their element. Aren't they in their element? Look at those kids playing in the water. They're in their element. Or you're not feeling good. He's really out of his element. And why do we say it? We don't know. We just say it because somebody's content. They're in their element. So we'll get you into your element.
All right, guys. Thank Krista. Thank
Yes,
you.
goodbye.
Please do not forget to email her at blindlyinspired.co@gmail.com, and I will flash that around over the week for us as well on Good Dawning and Tuesday night. Just if you're going to be with us next Sunday, and if you want the documentation. And other than that, thank you again, Krista, so much, and thank you guys for watching.
Pleasure,
And
everybody.
we appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow in the Good Dawning. And yeah, and if you didn't check out, as Krista had said a few times, if you didn't check out the reading from Archangel Raphael and Kelly Kolodny's Light Codes deck, Archangel Raphael's Light Code deck, please check that out. It will go into the energies of exactly what's going on, the clearing, purging, and what's
Absolutely.
needed in your universe at this time. So,
Yeah,
all right, guys, I love you.
light body.
Stay awesome. And thank you again, Krista.
Pleasure, Josh. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
So
And we'll see you guys in the next. I'm going to hit the end here. Much love, guys. Thank you. And anybody over left, I'll catch you guys over in Inspire Nation in a few. Thanks. Much love, guys. Poof. All right.